verse 82. You see it? I have it on the screen. I don't know if you can see the screen. I'll enlarge it. Now here, this is the Quran. One of the arguments the Quran gives to show that you can easily prove the Quran is a lie or the Quran is true. Here it is, chapter 4, verse 82. Do they not then consider the Quran carefully? Had it been from other than Allah, they would surely have found therein much contradictions. So what's the test the Quran gives to prove that it's from God or not from God?
No contradictions.
Exactly. So if you find many contradictions, what does that mean?
It's not from Allah.
All right. But this in itself is a contradiction.
Yeah.
You're laughing, huh? Why is this a contradiction?
Because that was an error that I just brought up.
Yeah, but that was the error of Jesus, not being killed. No, this is a contradiction here. Why? Let me explain to you. If God is a perfect mind, then he knows how to communicate perfectly, right?
Yes.
Well, let me show you that whoever wrote this isn't too sharp. Because notice the implication. If you want proof that the Quran is true, if it had been written by someone other than God, there would be many contradictions. This is a logical error. What do I mean? What's the assumption? The assumption is that Allah is the only one who can inspire a book free of errors. Because if it had been from someone other than Allah, it would be full of errors, right?
Yes.
Do you understand the problem with that logically?
Mm-hmm.
What's the logical problem with this passage?
Because I can write a book that has no errors, and it doesn't mean that it's from God.
You heavily impress me, young man, because you're young. I know your age, and you're very intelligent. I'm not saying it to lie. You are intelligent. Glory to God. You caught it. There are people who are not God who have written books that have no errors. Does that mean it's from God?
No.
You see how stupid this argument? Even if the Quran has no errors, how is that proof that it's from God? Okay, but secondly, notice how stupid the author is. It says, if it had been from other than Allah, you'd find much contradiction. Meaning, if you find a few, that's okay. Did you catch it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. There should be no contradictions.
Thank you. But you see how stupid the author is? If you find many contradictions, not from Allah. So if you find a few, that's okay. So the verse itself is proof the Quran is a joke. You caught it?
Yes.
So right there, the very test given for why the Quran is from God is itself proof that it's a joke and it's not from God. The verse itself. Number one, there are many people who've written books that have no contradictions. So even if the Quran had no contradictions, that's still not proof it's from God. Number two, notice it doesn't say if this is not from God, you would find a contradiction. No, you'd find many contradictions, meaning if you find a few, that still doesn't mean it's not from God. How in the hell does this make sense?
It doesn't. And it's clearly saying that if something is from God, it can't have no contradictions. If the Bible is a previous revelation of Allah, how can it have contradictions?
They'll say because the original Bible is lost, which is, again, a lie, because the Quran says that the original scriptures have been perfectly preserved. That's one of the reasons why we know the Quran is fake. I'll get there. Now let me show you the problems with the Quran. Are you ready?